Are you serious? Are you serious? Get some coffee if you're down in Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and Texas. Get some coffee. Calm down because there's a storm brewing. We don't know exactly where this thing is going to hit or how big it will be. But BP Earthwatch has been watching it very closely, and so now is the National Weather Service. We got a couple audios of both of these analysis of what this could be early June to have storms of these size starting to gather. What does it all mean? Well, let me check right now. First, let's go to BP Earthwatch and audio on his report on what the storms that are brewing in the Gulf. Here we go.
Going into night, the heating of the sun will decrease, but there's a lot of energy and heat in this water already. And that's the engine that drives these storms. But if it wraps this tight, as it's stationary, it could change the directed path because it was going to continue to move and then move northward. So if it's stationary now, that northward move could mean that it would move back into Louisiana. One model is still showing going into Galveston Bay. One of the other models that shows sea level pressure is showing it going into central Louisiana. But here's the thing, with it becoming stationary, it changes all the models because they were counting on a 7 to 8 mile per hour forward motion. Look at this, guys, it's huge. You can see Brett down in the bottom center of this image, and you can see the size of the storm in the Gulf, maybe 4 times the size. One good thing about it is that it's within a couple days of landfall, early Wednesday, whether it's Louisiana or Texas. If it's in Louisiana, it may come in a little quicker because it has less distance to cover. But this is amazing to see that size storm in June.
Now, as he's talking about this, folks, remember, it is not a hurricane. It's a huge storm system that hasn't organized, but it will bring a ton of rain. Yes, there'll be wind, there'll be high waves, and there'll be surge, but it will not come in a hurricane gale force storm unless, as BP just said, it has stalled. And if it stalls out there in the Gulf and then reorganizes with the energy of the warm water, it could turn into a category 3, 4, even 5 in just a few hours. If it doesn't organize, then it will come ashore somewhere, bringing a lot of rain with it. Matter of fact, let me just tell you what the National Weather Service is saying concerning this exact same storm. Their reports an hour ago.
Oh, here it is over Cancun, potential tropical cyclone 3. The center moved over Cancun yesterday. Now, this is a big rainmaker. You can see some swells there in the ocean. But the history with this, it's going to be the rain. And we're going to see a lot of that in the Gulf starting today. So here we go. Winds 40 miles per hour. It's moving off to the northwest at 8 miles per hour. Now, the rain is going to start to push into the immediate Gulf by today. And we're going to see this last through the middle of the week. Now, here's a look at the tropical storm watches and warnings that we are dealing with. And here's the...
And what they're saying is the watches and warnings are really for Houston, Texas, Shreveport, Louisiana, New Orleans could also be impacted, but it's more in the Houston, Shreveport area is how they see the potential tropical cyclone 3 coming ashore and bringing with it a lot of rain and wind.
Notice that we see this go all the way up to Nashville. Now, it's the right side of this storm where we're going to see the heavy concentration of rain. So as we look at future radar, the center of the storm goes to the west, but the heaviest rain, well, that is going to be to the east and the north. So how much rain are we talking? Well, we could see flooding rain, 5 to 7 inches likely in New Orleans. Gulfport, you could get up to 10 inches of rain.
That's crazy, folks. That is absolutely crazy. But as the storm swings over near Houston, you got a problem. You'll get some wind and you'll get 3 to 5 inches. But it's New Orleans that's going to get 5 to 7 inches of rain, and Shreveport up to 10 inches of rain. And then this storm's going to make this weird whip and head toward Nashville, Tennessee, of all places, bringing a lot of rain and storm. So that is the prediction by the National Weather Service, the Hurricane Center. And BP Earthwatch, still not so sure that that's the path that this disorganized storm is going to take. He says because it's stalled in the Gulf of Mexico, it has a potential of organizing. And then it could turn into a powerful category, maybe I would say 3 hurricane. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. The next few hours are very important. I would say this: if you're living along the Gulf shores, please, everybody just kind of take notice, get prepared, keep a close eye, and watch what's going on, and we'll see how this storm develops. It's the beginning of what I believe is going to be a very vicious hurricane year. And part of the reason is because of the prophetic word I received from the Lord. As in a global scale, the Lord told me last fall that 2017 would be a year of great chaos for the world, but a year of great blessings for the body of Christ. Well, the chaos couldn't be any more true. I mean, it's unbelievable. 4 times London has been attacked. 4 times London, Manchester, England, the concert. Are you serious? And that's just in the UK. What about France? What about Belgium? What about Sweden? What about what's going on? What about the shooting of the congressman in the United States? What about all of the crazy stuff going on? Chaos. It's just unbelievable with terrorism, wars, rumors of wars, and now President Trump may be about ready to do something to North Korea after this college student came back in this coma and then died. This is ridiculous. Something has to be done. And Trump's words is, something will be done. Let's see what this means. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. Now, the world's in trouble. Jesus said, in the world you'll have trouble, but in me you'll have peace. So that peace only comes through Christ. Give your life to Jesus Christ and walk in the blessing in the midst of the storm. That might be what you have to say to the folks in the Gulf Coast. Keep walking in the blessing, even though you may be surrounded by the storm. I'll be back with more in just a moment.